Welcome to Puerto on the Sunshine Island of Mallorca. We're back for the second year in a row. This is actually the sixth year that the 52s have been here, but this is the second year of the 52 Super Series. Last year we were the World Championships. This year it's the third regatta of the 52 Super Series. Top of the table, Quantum Racing have stepped clear, but the battle is on for second to 6th or 7th places on the table. It's incredibly close, and this is going to be the hottest week of the year. Of course, Quantum Racing have won the first two regattas of the season, are well clear at the top of the table. RAN have built up themselves a nice momentum and lie second, 5 points clear of Alegre, but RAN Racing have got a different tactician here, Francesco Bruni stepping in for Morgan Larson.
I love to be back with the TP52 class, great racing, and back in the monohulls. I'm looking forward to today. A little bit of a rush in the role of tactician for RAN. Didn't have any practice, but the team is strong and I'm sure I will fit in nicely.
We have some of the very high quality teams which performed very well last year, struggling just a little bit to make an impact. Teams like Bronenosec, teams like Prevezza, and also Sled. And we spoke with Sled's Rod Davis this morning.
Yeah, I think actually pitching for all three spots. There's some boats going better and better all the time. The nature of this thing is all the boats are very even and everybody's sailing well. You can watch the way the boats start and everybody is on the line full pace at the starts. And so that's really high quality. When you have that, you have a lot of mixing of the results.
So what's the essence of a good start? How do you execute?
A good start is when you can sail straight for 2 or 3 minutes and you don't dictate when you have to tack. That'll be a good start. And anybody who's slightly compromised at the start will probably be going half a knot VMG slower, and that half a boat length will cost you severely up at the top mark. That's where it all shows up. Everything else is even, you think, oh, it wasn't that bad a start, we're okay. And then all of a sudden you get to the top mark, you can't cross the boat you need to cross, and all hell breaks loose.
Unfortunately, the start of the regatta is marred by the absence of Chio. Now, there was an incident at the top mark, second time up in the practice race, when Gladiator unfortunately struck Chio and damaged one of their shrouds, and that means that Chio will not be able to race. But I think that's indicative of the level of the fleet at the moment, that really no quarter is given, even in the practice race. Well, conditions look really great for the start of what should have been race one. Nice sea breeze, solid 12 knots, even just a little bit more. A great start from Alegre. Alegre led all the way up to the top mark, and we're just leading down the first run when we had a very large cruise ship came through the course area, and that unfortunately meant that race one had to be abandoned and restarted. So race one did get away its second time of asking. Conditions were still pretty good. Bronenosec recognised the gain on the right side of the course early on, and Sled also on that side of the course. They were the top two boats at the top mark. Prevezza got through in the second beat to take second place through the finish line ahead of Sled, but it was Bronenosec which won the first race of the Puerto sailing week.
We have experimenting a new setup here where Edo is helping Vladimir in the start, and I just look on the wind, and they did a brilliant job in the first race. We won the race committee and went right, and from there on my work was all very easy. We just kept stretching all day long.
Well, the second race of the regatta, a little bit breeze was just slightly lighter off the start line, but Quantum Racing made a nice well-timed start, got themselves out to the right early on, led round the top mark from a very consistent day for Sled. They were right up there along with Gladiator. Gladiator just lost out slightly to Sled. Very, very close finishes in the middle of the fleet, but it was Quantum with that win. They're fourth in the first race. They gained 1 place down the final run. That, as much as the first, is what sees them at the top of the table after the first day of racing, with Sled in there as well on the same points, and a good day for Bronenosec.
Try to do the simple things that we can do well, really well, and our biggest mistakes come when we make things too complicated. And Doug's got a really good steady hand, and so he follows the prompts really well, and that has to be kind of the foundation of any good regatta or any good result is behind the boat speed.
We're very pleased just to have two really consistent results at the front of the fleet, and yeah, it's certainly a good start to the regatta.
So the standings after the first two races of the Puerto Sailing Week 2016: Quantum Racing fourth and a first on 5 points, Sled 3 and a 2 on 5 points, and Bronenosec not far behind on 6 points with a 1 and a 5 today. Well, sailing's always about controlling the uncontrollables, to tell us. We've had 1 or 2 uncontrollable elements in the first couple of days of this regatta so far. Hopefully it all runs smoothly from here on in for all the teams. Join us again for day 2 of the Puerto Sailing Week.